Alright, I've been putting this off long enough. And by this, I mean more Hildibrand! I don't know if we're going to have time to do the whole thing today, but let's continue as best we can. As a quick aside, I'm currently going through some stuff, so if the edits are a little bit closer, or like there's some weird gaps of silence, that's stuff that I'm editing around. Hope that's cool. For anyone who actually knows me, you know more or less what was happening. But for now, let's keep going. Ny'ardbert, I was wondering when you'd show up. I've got the latest scoop on the victor's spoils that our many-faced friend has set his sights on. Have you visited the Colosseum of late? There's a tourney in the works, and it's looking to be a big one. The Mithril Cup, sponsored by none other than Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern. They say that Master Feargeist will be furnishing the prizes himself from his personal collection. Small wonder it's captured the attention of Mr. Sticky Fingers. You are familiar with the concern, yes? It's only the largest mining interest in the Sultanate, after all. Yes, I did their level 5 quest, and then left. The chairman, Master Feargeist, sits on the syndicate and possesses such wealth that rumor has it he could buy half the realm if he chose to. He's also renowned for being something of a martial arts enthusiast. What was that, Kaipa? I hope the recording caught that. With his position affording him little opportunity to test his own skills, he settles for living vicariously through the exploits of others, hence his sponsorship of tournaments like the Mithril Cup. My colleague, Ganelon, is in Ul'dah covering the tourney as we speak. If we were to track him down, I bet he'd be able to give us something to get our investigation started. Alright, onward to Ul'dah. Fun fact, the last time that I recorded one of those like little concerts to put up, it got copyright struck, or at least like copyright claimed, for being the actual song of Welcome to the Black Parade. So, I mean, good on you guys that you did well enough for it to notice. Yes, I'm a busy man. If you're looking for small talk, I suggest you look elsewhere. No need to be rude, Ganelon. He's a friend of mine. Now, what say you share your latest findings with us? I promise I'll make it worth your while. Ellie? If it isn't the Mithril Eye's star reporter. Come to have a laugh at Ganelon's expense before returning to pen your latest front page feature, eh? Oh, very well. Just promise you'll put in a good word for me with the higher-ups, okay? Now, let me tell you this. There's strange things afoot at this Colosseum. Bugger all, it's a travesty, I tell you. I have no idea who's talking here. Oh, okay, I guess I'll stick with that voice then. Hotch, Hugh, and Hamo. Whatever's the matter, and where, pray tell, is Hutchin? Okay. The four of you will compete for the cup together, yes? I fear that an unfortunate mishap has left Hutchin in no condition to fight. We were just on our way to convey the dire news to Dower Meadow. Mishap, my arse! This was sabotage! Some bloody coward out there will stop at nothing to eliminate his competition. I swear it on my sublagar. Lower your voice, Hutch. My head stings enough without your bloody shouting. Hutchin? Should you not be resting your wounds? Oh, but forgive your incompetent, unworthy comrade. If I had been quicker with my mantra, we would still be 4 men strong. Do not berate yourself so, Hamo. In victory and in defeat, the Montrevilles fight as one. Okay. You bear no more responsibility for my wounds than I. Any road, I dare say I'll not be getting back into fighting Fettle by arsing about in bed. I'm ready to chant some mantras. How about the lot of you? Hutchin, for you I'm always ready. Now that's what I like to hear. 1,000 mantras, and I want each one to ring out over the Zagoli. Montrevilles? Aye, as Hutchin tells it, they took their name from a training partner they met at the Fist of Relgar, a man they most admired for his devotion and chiseled physique. Are we thinking Hildibrand or Ny'ardbert? Consider me not the least bit interested. There's talk of attacks on the competitors, however. Of this I would hear more. Ah, yes, I mentioned that strange things were afoot, yes? With mere days left before the Mithril Cup, a staggering number of would-be combatants have withdrawn, setting a host of curious ailments and injuries. With the list of entrants shrinking by the day, the organizers have been forced to abandon the elimination format in favor of a mass melee between what few battlers remain. A Phantom Thief's challenge. Gladiators dropping like flies? No, this is no mere coincidence. I would speak to the individual in charge of the event. Where might I find him? Though the concern sponsors the tourney, the day-to-day organizational duties are being handled by a fellow by the name of Dower Meadow. He should be in his office within the Coliseum's halls. I'll send word to the gateman. I'll send word to the gateman Baya. He owes the Mithril Eye a favor or two. Splendid. Come, Ny'ardbert, we've got a case to crack. With gladiators dropping one after the next, I had to rewrite my Mithril Cup preview 5 times in the past 2 days. Make that 6. Let's go find this Dower Meadow and see what he can tell us about the tourney. Gadalon said we could find him in his office at the Coliseum, yes? From Mithril Eye, you say? And by all means, you are free to enter. I'm Ellie, reporter for the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the deal, yes? And you must be Dower Meadow. I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about the upcoming tourney.
Who am I to argue with free publicity? And from a charming little thing like yourself. Ask away, me girl. That said, between the challenge from that so-called Phantom Thief, and now these bizarre attacks targeting the fighters, our tourney's already the talk of the town. Not that you'll see me complaining, provided someone's still left to fight, that is. You're free to investigate as you wish, but you'd be smart to exercise some caution. Needless to say, recent events have everyone here a bit on edge. Why, just moments ago, one fighter almost took another's head for insulting the color of his sublip. Looks like we've got ourselves another... These two aren't in the entry books.
And our challenger unleashes a vicious right hook as the gentleman inspector was channeling his strength for his next attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner! Inspector Briarton! As efficient as ever, I see.
A true gentleman eschews violence, Inspector.
You were thinking. It annoyed me. Dower Meadow, I presume. Tell me everything you can about the prizes for this tourney, and try to be brief.
I was wondering when you might ask. Master Feargeist has spared no expense in making the Mithril Cup the most lucrative tourney this Colosseum's ever seen. The victor will receive a true treasure from his collection, the Warden's Grace. A ring fitted with the largest sun sphere you'll find outside of Karn. The second and third place prizes are nothing to sneeze at neither, but I don't care how many faces he's got. We've got nothing to fear from this thief. The concern has hired an elite regiment of stone torches to watch over the vault day and night.
Yes, just as the brass blades were so successful in stopping the thief last time. If you want your treasures safe, go fetch them and bring them to me. And be quick about it, I haven't all day.
Fear I can't do that, Inspector. After all, what proof do I have that you ain't Mr. Many Faces in another of his elaborate get-ups? No, if you want to get your hands on the spoils, you have to claim them as any other would, in battle. As a matter of fact, with the ranks thinned as they are, we're actively recruiting new competitors. The more the merrier, and the more lucrative at that. Now where did our receptionist get off to? Over here, you slimy bugger. We got some fresh blood for the melee.
Give me a moment, will ya? I've only got 8 arms. Or were they legs? You called? I was about to give this lovely Miss Avila the grand tour. Inspector Hildibrand! Look, he's purple!
Astute as ever, Nashu. This color, this overabundance of appendages. I smell a case. Ah, that's just my receptionist, Ultros. Don't be startled now. He's an ugly little bugger, but he's friendly enough. Word has it he was one of many bizarre creatures born from a recent experiment with ancient incantations at the Thaumaturgist Guild. They were going to seal him away in a hole in the desert with the others when he opened his slobbering mouth and started pleading for his life. I just want to live in peace. I'll do anything, anything. So the management hired him to perform odd jobs about the Colosseum.
And am I ever glad they did. I tell you, this job ain't glamorous, but it sure has its perks. What a delicious morsel. I want to get my tentacles around her. Wow.
Yeah, that's about my reaction to Avila.
I know not who you are or where you hail from, and I do not care. If you dare challenge me, my Tempest Blade will show you no mercy. You can forget about your case, Inspector. There's only one who will claim the victor's spoils, and that is me. Oh, I just love it when she talks tough. Now, who's the chump who wanted to get a pummeling by my lovely little Lavi? Oh, I guess that's me. Oh.
Though a gentleman takes far more pride in rescuing fair damsels than fighting them, I fear we have little recourse. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall do what must be done to...
Ny'ardbert will be entering the tournament on my behalf.
Ny'ardbert Tia? You do look like a Tia. Wow! Well, bugger me with a spear to think I'd see the day when a warrior light stood in my Colosseum. Hear that clink, clink, clinking? That's the sound of gil pouring into our coffers when the public finds out that a true Eorzean hero will be stepping into the ring to fight for the Mithril Cup. Oh, and I reckon your friend can tag along too. Show him where to sign, Alti.
With Ny'ardbert, I suppose we have as good a chance as any. Now we just need to make sure he doesn't come down with some curious injury. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I've died and gotten better in a couple seconds.
That gladiatrix, Vila, was it? Seemed quite certain of her chances of victory. Suspiciously certain, I would say. I'm already 10 steps ahead of you, Inspector. That Ultros fellow seemed most knowledgeable about Miss Avila. Come, Nashu. The investigation is afoot.
As much as that sounds like an amazingly productive line of investigation, might I suggest that our first priority is to keep Ny'ardbert here safe? Let us return to Ganelon and see what he can tell us of these mysterious attacks on the combatants.
Very well. I shall leave that task to you. I have a lead of my own to investigate. Should you uncover any new information, I trust you will share it with me at the first opportunity.
Sure, Inspector. As a quick aside of why I fucking cracked up there, for people who might not be as in tune with the lore, Tia is the surname of basically any Seeker of the Sun catboy that isn't the chief of his tribe. So, this guy being like, oh, you look like a bitch, is basically how that came across. Which way is out of here?
I suppose that our questioning of Mr. Ultros can wait. Let us see if this Ganelon fellow can enlighten us.
Look, I know you're the Warrior of Light and all, but we can't afford to take any chances. Be on your guard, Ny'ardbert. Okay. I'm on my guard. Doubly so. Talk to me, Ganelon. You again? I already told you that... What? Entered the tourney, you say? Are you out of your bloody mind? Look, I've got a suspicion or two, which I'm happy to share with you, but in the end, you have to protect yourself, you hear? So I've been asking around, and it seems that more than a few of the fighters who pulled out of the tournament were scheduled to fight a warrior by the name of Avila. Yeah, that tracks. Now, I can't make any promises, but my instincts tell me this girl is bad news. But don't take it from me when you could hear it from someone who crossed blades with her just days ago. A fellow by the name of Raging Rat had the misfortune of being matched up with Avila in the preliminary round and earned himself a right bruising from it all. Last I heard, he was resting up back at the Pugilist Guild. Why don't you pay him a visit?
Oh, the plot ever thickens. While I have my doubts that the lovely Avila is behind these dastardly incidents, it would behoove us to hear what this Raging Rat fellow has to say.
Alright, same text there. Same text there. It's always fun seeing the Crystal Braves, like, in position, different places in the city. Like a very clear illustration of how we've affected the world. Come to have a good laugh at old Raging Rat's expense, have you? Well, you're not the first, I say. Is there not a man in this entire realm with an ounce of sympathy?
Greetings, good sir. How fortunate you are today that your guest is Hildibrand Mandeville, gentleman and inspector. Now, if you would, please enlighten me to how exactly it was that you were beaten to a bloody pulp by Miss Avila.
Gentlemen, my arse! Have you not a wit of delicacy? Never you mind. Look, the records may say I lost, but I'll admit to nothing of the sort. I'll shout it to the top of my lungs if no one else will. The girl doesn't fight fair. Tempest Blade? Some kind of foul sorcery, if you ask me. Mark my words, that girl is up to no good. If she weren't so damned easy on the eye, she'd be rotting in jail as we speak. The girl's Alamegan, or haven't you heard? You know how it is with these refugees. Why fight with honor when you've got nothing to lose? Yes, and why not disparage an entire people in a pathetic attempt to salvage your sorry pride? This one's a real piece of work, Ny'ardbert. Let's be on our way. I didn't mean no offense, miss. Just telling it like it is, as it were. Perhaps it truly is some manner of sorcery, as the fellow says. Or perhaps the work with an accomplice. She didn't strike me as the magic-wielding type. If I were a betting woman, I'd put my gill on the ladder.
Ah, Miss Ellie, the thrill of the chase has struck a chord with you as well. Yes, I can see it in the wrinkles beneath your eyes. We might very well make an inspectress of you yet.
I'll give you a good wrinkle, you insensitive boor. If what the man says is true, it's likely that her fellow Alamegans might sympathize with her plight. An accomplice would hardly be out of the question.
Yes, I can see it now. Two unfortunate souls, shunned by those around them, united by destiny in a common desire for justice.
What?
Ample appendages whirling wildly, sending gusts of wind flying every which way. Alvila and Ulti, a match made in the heavens. Were it any more obvious, I could have solved this case without leaving my home.
Incredible! Your power of deduction never fails to amaze, Inspector. What is it with you two and that infernal octopus?
Mr. Ultros should still be at the Colosseum. Let us hurry before he slithers back off to whencesoever he came.
That is the opposite direction, right? Oh no, it is that way. Sorry, I got turned around. Alright, back to the Colosseum.
Friend, and look over yonder. Behold those exquisite legs, those stylish tentacles, the unearthly undulations of his squirmy, squishy body. Yes, our friend Ulti is a most fascinating creature indeed. Behold how he carefully eyes the gladiatrix before him. What manner of mischief is he plotting?
Really not rather think about it.
He speaks. Yes, this is most suspicious indeed. Oh, what is this? The girl has fled in a panic. Our friend Ulti appears to be discouraged. Look at the way his shoulders sag. Or how they would sag, if he had shoulders. Our quarry is on the move. Quickly, Nashu, we must pursue.
Back outside. Oh no. Ultros is about to fucking die. Okay.
Aha, there he is. You'll not escape us so easily, Mr. Ultros.
Mr. Ulti seems to have found himself another gladiatrix. What might he be plotting this time? Look at those succulent legs. I reckon they'd taste just wonderful in a good marinara sauce. Marinara sauce. Ah, he speaks! And another girl rushes off. Whatever did he say to her? He looks so sad. Shall we douse him in lemon butter and put him out of his misery, Inspector? Whatever is he doing with these girls anyway? Harassing people. Call me crazy, but I think he likes them? so, quote, shocking that it ended the quest.
Poor Mr. Ultros didn't seem to have much luck with the ladies. Speaking only for myself, I'd love to have him for dinner. Perhaps in a nice lemon butter sauce.
Poor misunderstood Ulti. Here we suspected him of criminal activity, when in truth he was just a gentle soul, luckless in love. Oh, Ulti, can you find it in your squishy, slimy heart to forgive us?
Yes, yes. Now perhaps we should return to our investigation? If Avila is as suspicious as they say, perhaps we should follow her around for a bit. Dower Meadow back at the Colosseum should be able to enlighten us as to her whereabouts.
An excellent idea, Miss Ellie. But I have a better one. Let us return to the Colosseum and speak with Dower Meadow. From him we shall ascertain Miss Alvila's whereabouts, upon which we shall follow her about to see if she is indeed as suspicious as they say. Come, Nashu, the investigation calls.
Oh, Ellie's starting to get, oh.
Don't think Uncle Ulti didn't see you following me. What's the big idea, eh? I'm nothing more than a stupid octopus. Squee! Or am I? Come on now, I just want what any octopus wants. A cute girl, untold riches, and the admiration of millions. Can't Uncle Ulti dream? Well, kids hate to ink and run. Well, kids hate to ink and run. Then again, I am an octopus.
Sorry, was he talking to the camera? That's a new one.
Yes, what is it this time? I'm a busy man. Looking for Avila, you say? She said something about sharing a flagon with her countrymen over at the Coffer and Coffin. I reckon you might still find her there. I'll warn you, though, if you're smart, you'll keep your distance from that one. That poor bugger Ganelon tried to interview her for an article. Thought the girl was going to rip his head clean off. How can I put this? She doesn't seem to take kindly to being asked questions of a personal nature, if you catch me drift. That said, if you're looking for a good sparring match to warm you up for the tourney, that might just be the ticket. I can assure you there will be no need for gratuitous fisticuffs, my good sir. With my remarkable powers of espionage, we will ascertain all the information we need without the fiery lass ever even being alerted to our presence. Let us be off.
So are we thinking... Where is the Coffin and Coffer? Nope, not that one. So are we thinking Hildibrand is going to have a terrible disguise? Or just walk right in? And, like, crouch next to something? Is it time to bring back Hildibrand and drag? It seems early in this particular quest arc, but you never know. Alright, just crouch nearby. Behold, the lovely Miss Avila, just as predicted. Let us keep watch from here, so as not to set off the girl's famed temper. How many times must I tell you? There is no cause for concern. The spoils shall be mine. It may as well be written in stone. Do you realize what this means? We have suffered, and suffered long, but my victory shall mark a new era. Just as Rauban al-Din won a new life for himself in the Colosseum, I shall win a new life for our people. The prize that I shall claim will bolster the wealth of our people 1,000, no 10,000-fold. In a land where wealth is power, we will be kicked to the gutter by the Uldans no longer. And with that, I must be off to the Nanawa mines to meet my sister. Miss Avila's self-assurance is ever a sight to behold. I deduce that my own chances of filling around the field of battle are infinitesimal. I mean, doubly so, because I don't think you're in the tournament. I could have told you that before you signed up. Come now, we have a suspect to pursue. I don't know if that's necessarily true, Ellie. Like, kind of depends on what the clause for defeat is, because he's durable as all hell.
Trying to steal Avila from Uncle Ulti's tentacles, are you? I'm afraid that isn't going to happen. Yes, Uncle Ulti's homemade explosive will see that this is the end of the road for you. Does that make me a bad octopus?
Ah, the distinctive smell of fire sand. Another one of your handcrafted explosives, I take it, Nashu?
Heavens, no, Inspector. This is far too elaborate to be one of mine. Do you think whoever crafted this would be willing to give me a lesson?
They're on to me? Preposterous! Could it be that Musclehead isn't as stupid as he looks? I see. In any event, I shudder. Oh, sorry.
I see. In any event, I shudder to think of what might happen if an unsuspecting passerby chanced upon such a hazardous object. Allow me. Heave ho!
You've got to be kidding me!
The difference between these quests and the modern Hildibrand quests is they would have animated the explosion. Also, probably less creepy pervert octopus jokes.
That maiden in mining garb must be the sister of whom Miss Avila spoke. Let us listen a bit closer.
I thought we agreed. No hard labor until your leg is healed. I swear, sometimes I think you were born solely to give your poor sister headaches. Says the girl who once fought off 10 Imperials with one good arm. Perhaps someday you'll understand that your little sister can take care of herself just as well as you. Speaking of which, what news of the tourney?
Worry not, Hegelina. I have taken all the necessary precautions. The Warden's grace is as good as ours.
Even the most modest estimates value its worth at some 30 million gil. Do you realize what this means? Necklaces from Estheum, sun-silk dresses, all the luxuries you've ever wanted will be yours. The poor little girls in shabby clothes, objects of pity and scorn for the Uldan upper crust, those days are over. After I claim victory, we'll take our rightful place at the top of society. I don't know, Avi. Mouth is all well and good, but when I see you stand tall in the Colosseum, hundreds and thousands cheering your name, I'm proud. No matter how humble our birth, if we stand strong and stand together, this alone is all the wealth I ask for. That is your problem, Hegelina. You've always been too quick to settle for less than your worth. But worry not, for your sister is watching over you. I will do this. For us. Now, I must return. Gods forbid one of these prying reporters overhears us. That's my Avi, unfazed by a duel to the death, yet terrified to be caught in a moment of tenderness. May the gods smile on you, sister, and be safe.
A more moving display of sisterly love I have not seen, and yet I fear it has afforded us little in the way of prospective clues.
It would seem Avila's obsession with victory runs even deeper than we imagined. That said, I can't help but feel a bond with the girl. My sister and I were alone in the world too, you see. Inspector, did you hear what I just heard?
Look, kids, Uncle Alti has had it up to here with you. Do you think you could just fall in this pit and die like a good little boy? I'm talking to you, Mr. Warrior of Light. Hear that sound? Just one step closer. Closer. Not you, you idiot.
No need for concern, friends. I have simply taken the liberty of investigating this hole in the ground. And I am pleased to report that there seems to be nothing out of the ordinary.
Our hero. Now, shall we return to Ul'dah? The Mithril Cup will be starting before long, and the last thing we want after all this is to lose our bout by forfeit. Is he wearing a little hat? Oh no, it's a bandage. Could it be? Did that musclehead dive straight into my trap to save his companions? The others seem completely unsurprised at this turn of events. Doubtless he has performed such selfless acts before. A true gentleman, if I ever saw one. But if you think that means I'm going to show mercy on you, you've got another think coming. Time to break out the big guns, kids. Wait a minute, I dug 2 pits, didn't I? Come to think of it, the second one was right around... Give me a break! Whatever does he think he's found this time? Yes, is something the matter? We're on something of a tight schedule here, Inspector.
Stand back, Miss Ellie. My well-honed inspector's senses are tingling. I feel a most fearsome adversary lurking about.
This time you're really up a creek without a paddle, kids. Mwah! Say hello to a not-so-little friend of mine from the Colosseum. He's large, he's in charge, and most of all, he's hungry. Whee! Where in the world is he? I haven't got all day. My chimera! Who is that half-naked fool?
Father, could it be that the aura of unmitigated murderous rage that I felt was not our quarry, but you? Hildy, I was merely taking a stroll in search of inspiration and materials for my newest masterpiece in the making. And what brings you and your friends to these parts today? Just a bit of sleuth work, Father dear, and with that we must return to Ul'dah. If you have not heard, your son is set to compete for the Mithril Cup. Oh ho! Moonlighting as a gladiator, are we? A fitting second career for a Manderville man, if I do say so myself.
That muscle-bound old man is the inspector's father? Remind me never to go to one of their family reunions. God, just who is this inspector, anyway?
Hildy is a worthy rival, if ever there were one.
Who goes there?
Hildy, Ny'ardbert, I have been waiting for this day.
Well, looky who we have here. You're quite the intimidating gent yourself. A friend of the inspector, mayhap.
I am Gilgamesh, wandering duelist, and I am not so much the inspector's friend as his enemy.
Well, that makes two of us. Perk up, Gulliver, because this just might be our lucky day.
Is there no one in this accursed realm who can remember my... Call me what you will, friend, but heed my words. Ny'ardbert is a formidable foe.
That sounded like high praise coming from a big fella like yourself. To have such a powerhouse as his sidekick, that inspector must be something else indeed.
I know not what brings you to do battle with those two, but I warn you, you will end up as seafood soup if you face them alone. And with that, I must be off. For reasons that I do not entirely understand, I am considered something of a fugitive in these parts. Ny'ardbert, I will not fall so easily this time.
Well, looks like I've got my legs full. All 8 of them. But if that adventurer is too strong to take on alone, I'll just have to bring along a friend.
A supply twisting ring, calling to mind the undulations of a creature of the sea. Yes, the inspiration is struck.
Nobody here but us octopodes.
Look forward to your next life as a masterpiece, fiend.
Here we go.
Muscleheads! I hate them!
I wonder what Greg's up to. If he's here. Is he just sort of like looming? Looking for a chance to fight me again? Because, like, you just send a message by Moogle. I do get mail.
Good heavens, chancing upon father like that. I dare say it's taken a year off my life. What a crowd is assembled. It would seem the festivities are nigh about to commence. I'd hoped to uncover more of Miss Avila's secrets, but no matter. What better place to continue my investigation than on the field of battle?
Okay. I'm going to take a bit of a break here, because it is getting late. This shouldn't really be much of a cut for you, we'll just jump ahead. But if the voices I give everybody changes, it's because I don't remember, but hopefully I will. So, be right back. Alright. let's continue where we left off. The trouble with truffles. Hildibrand appears to be in something of a hurry.
Good heavens! We haven't much time before the tourney begins. We must hasten back to the Colosseum and apprise ourselves on the rules of engagement. To a true gentleman, the battle is not about victory or defeat, but fighting with honor. Whatever treachery or guile my opponents may employ, I must not, I will not, lower myself to their level.
So we think Hildibrand's gonna cheat. What are your thoughts, Nashu? Is it just me, or is Mr. Ultros a bit lumpier than he was before? Is Ultros here? Oh, he's up there at the top of the stairs. He certainly does look lumpy. Can I get past here? I can. What are you doing up here, Ultros? Dude. Alright, well. Yubaya? Would it kill them to station me a few yalms closer to the action? That's forbid I actually get to enjoy the tourney after all my hard work. Oh, right. I gave him, like, a sloshy voice to begin with, and then I think defaulted back to just normal, high-pitched weirdo. Bumps on the head, chipped teeth. I am one shabby-looking octopus, I tell you. They don't pay me enough for this. But that's all going to change soon, isn't it, buddy?
Funga. Ah, Mr. Ultros. Just the octopus we were looking for. I was hoping that you might enlighten us as to... Ye cats, who gave you those ghastly bruises?
Bruises? I fell down the stairs, that's all. Now get lost, I'm a busy octopus.
Funga! Ouch. You have my sympathies, good sir. It is challenge enough to coordinate 4 limbs, let alone 8. Is there someone inside your office?
No. Whatever gave you that idea? I am simply, fumigating the place. For pests. Pests like yourself. Now don't you have a battle to go fight? Gah! Inspector, I think something's alive in there. That's just me, talking to myself. Yes, Funga. Gods! Yes, gods working as a receptionist is fun.
Battered, bruised, beset by vermin, and still able to find joy and fulfillment in your work. I say, Mr. Ultros, your passion for your chosen profession is truly an inspiration to us all.
Ny'ardbert, if you'd come with me for a moment, I fear the stupidity in the air may be contagious. You know, I think you might be right, Briarden. I feel pretty dumb. What are your thoughts, Nashu? Listening to Mr. Ultros talk truly is inspiring. I say he's looking more appetizing by the minute.
Mr. Ultros is truly a man after my own heart, a gentleman among octopodes.
Wonder what that says about octopodes.
Well, has your investigation borne any fruit?
I mean, I think it's Ultros, but...
I see. Avila seeks to win the tourney to claim a fortune and raise her and her sister out of poverty. Furthermore, she has implied that she has taken the necessary precautions to ensure that her victory is all but certain. While trailing her, you narrowly evaded a series of dastardly obstacles, and upon your return, that strange octopus appeared considerably worse for the wear.
The evidence points in one direction. The Alamegan girl and Ultros are plotting together to claim the Mithril Cup and its lucrative prize. I'm not sure she's in on it. It is not as preposterous as it sounds. I have done some research on our eight-legged friend. It would appear that Ultros has become something of a regular at Ulda's taverns and houses of pleasure. I suspect that he is using his inside knowledge of the workings of the Colosseum to identify and eliminate potential threats, thereby ensuring victory for Avila and earning himself a healthy commission. There is also the matter of the Tempest Blade that is rumored to be the source of the Alamegan girl's strength. This remains a mystery, which means that I fear your life is still in danger, Ny'ardbert. One of the guards informed me that several crates of refuse from the Colosseum reception room were hastily discarded in Pearl Lane not bells ago. It is a stab in the dark, but the contents may yet provide some answers. I would ask you bring them to me. Alright. We almost went a whole little quest chain without having to pick up random shit. Don't know why I expected that to last. Colosseum refuse. What's your deal, conniving ne'er-do-well? Alright, yeah, I think I talked to this guy already. He's being generically mafia. Alright, back we go.
Well, let me see what you have found.
A large wooden box containing all sorts of detritus gathered from the Colosseum. Some of it's still twitching.
Now, what have we here? Ah, yes, a spectacular assortment of innards and entrails. And what's this? A sack. Even more foul-smelling than the gore it was lying in. If that can be believed. And look, see, something appears to be written on the side here. Sintgot Sundries. It seems this merchant has had dealings with that squishy mass of tentacles. Let us pay a visit to the man and have him enlighten us as to the exact nature of their partnership.
I feel like I'm going to regret asking this question. Alright, Scentgod, what are you selling to that pervy octopus?
Welcome, welcome. What might a discerning gentleman like yourself be looking for today?
I'm sorry, sir, but I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. No exchanges, replacements, or refunds. I stand by the quality of my wares, and I expect my customers to do the same. Wait, now, did Ultros send you?
I'll be asking the questions here. What exactly did you sell to that ungodly creature?
Why, an entire sack full of gold truffles. Can you believe it? What with the impressive price and that, distinctive aroma, they're only for the most discerning of customers. Which Mr. Ultros clearly is, as he just placed another order today.
Could these truffles somehow be connected to... No, I shall stop myself before I start sounding like... Inspector Briarden, it wounds me that you would sneak off to conduct your investigation without me, and to steal away Ny'ardbert here. This gentleman is not impressed.
Did you find anything, Inspector? Good gods, what is that dreadful smell?
Miss Ellie, I would have expected a cultured young woman like yourself to be more educated in the Epicurean arts. That is the most distinct and delightful aroma of the gold truffle. An acquired taste, to be sure, but one that has won the heart of many an Uldan gourmet. I particularly enjoy them slow-roasted, as my dear mother makes them.
Roasted, you say? Why, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. Might I be so bold as to ask the recipe?
It appears the productive portion of this conversation has come to an end. Besides, the tourney is about to begin. Let us make haste back to the Colosseum. Do you feel the anticipation in the air, my friend? It shall go down in Eorzean history as the greatest battle since I slew that dragon. That did actually happen, yes? The Colosseum Conundrum.
Sorry.
Well, that merchant proved to be a spectacular waste of time. Time which is in short supply. We must return to the Colosseum before the battles begin. Here is the plan, Ny'ardbert. I shall find a suitable vantage point to observe Miss Avila in combat. Until I have ascertained the trickery behind her abilities, you are to keep a wide berth of her blade. Understood?
I mean, I am tempted to try to tank it, but I understand. We'll just have to watch Hildibrand do that. Oh, that's someone's character.
I shall find a suitable vantage point to observe.
Oh wait, same thing. Wow, you came all the way here to have the same text. Same thing there, too.
There you are. I was this close to starting the melee without you, gar har har. I'd be remiss not to tell you that there's been a slight change of plans. Another contestant suffered a last-minute injury, and none other than our very own Ultros has stepped in to take his place. With everyone's favorite octopus joining you two in the fray, spectators are just pouring in, and bookmakers across town are raking in the gill, which ain't a bad thing for us. Word has it that Mr. Feargeist himself is quite taken with my promotional skills. Aye, the future's looking bright for old Dower Meadow, it is. So what say ye? Are you ready to get your arse kicked?
I'm ready.
Aye, that's what I like to hear. Ladies and gents, it's time for blades to whirl and limbs to fly.
I don't know if we've ever seen someone lose a limb. I feel like you die before that happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, plutocrats and paupers, open your eyes and steel your stomachs. The Mithril Cup, brought to you by our ever-charitable friends at Amalja & Sons Mineral Concern. Your concern is our concern, is about to begin. Who will stand atop the heap of maimed bodies and twisted limbs to claim victory? Will it be the tempestuous Avila of Alamigo, Ny'ardbert, the famed warrior of light, or... who is that grinning fool again? Ah, that's right, Humberbatch, agent of infamy and an imbecile extraordinaire. Or will it be our 11th hour entry? Ultros, the 8-legged purple purveyor of pain!
Here I am. Did you miss me?
Aye, I'd say we have a battle for the ages here, folks. Combatants, take your positions, and let the battles begin!
All right, you know the deal. We team up and wipe out the others. Then when it's just the two of us, I'll take a dive.
And you receive your share of the winnings. I have not forgotten our promise. I don't know why that was even dubious. Like, I feel like you can just make teams, right? Like, the Montrevilles were planning to fight as a team. Oh shit, she's a paladin.
Look at Avila's blade spin! Why, she's a veritable whirlwind of death and destruction out there. They breed 'em tough in Alamigo, that's for certain.
You are next. Alright, let's go, I guess. Doesn't seem like any trickery there. Hildibrand, do you want to fight the octopus?
Here we go, ladies and gents. Once my buddy gets a whiff of these raw truffles, he'll be sneezing up a storm. Literally.
Those are cooked.
Ah, nothing like the rich aroma of roasted truffles. All this fighting is giving out gloalty and appetite. Is it time for dinner yet? Wait a minute. Roasted truffles?
Braised in a savory sauce, just like Mother used to make them. Feel free to have seconds. There's a whole sack full where that came from.
That meddling musclehead!
What's taking him so darn long?
The girl's gaze gives it away. Open that gate at once. Funga?
What is that monstrosity? What the fuck?
Mr. Typhon, is that your stomach I hear rumbling? Could I interest you in some roasted truffles, perhaps?
What fascinating friends you have, Oltie. Why, just look at this charming little nose. Is he perhaps suffering from a case of the sniffles? Could it be? Avila's vaunted Tempest Blade. It was that monster all along. The girl played us all for fools.
It's a shame. It doesn't really seem like she needed to. She's pretty strong.
Don't look at me. It was all her idea. I'm just a stupid octopus. You were the one who approached me, you double-dealing fiend. I just wanted to experience the thrill of battle. You know, for my work and all. Come on, Dower, has Uncle Ulti ever lied to you? What did I tell you? I knew there was something fishy about that
Whoa! Okay. Fishy about that Alamegan whore. Alamegans. Beggars and brutes, the lot of them. Give them a home in our lands and this is thanks we get? Send her to Garlemald for all I care. Just get her out of my sight before I get sick.
But I just wanted to... My sister. I feel for the girl, really. My little octopus heart goes out to her. But the rules are rules, right? Now, if Uncle Ulti may be so bold... I say we call off the melee and have a final showdown between the 3 remaining competitors. That would be me, my buddy Typhon, and Ny'ardbert here. What do you say, Mr. Warrior of Light? Can we get Alvila in it? Maybe Hildibrand? Oh, okay. I guess Ny'ardbert's cool with it. Aye, that's what we want to see. All Tros! All Tros! All Tros!
Well, this is a most unprecedented turn of events, but who am I to deny the wishes of such a passionate crowd of martial arts aficionados? The venue, Halatali. The fighters, the tag team of Ultros and Typhon versus the Warrior of Light. Who will be left standing when the storm is settled? Be there or miss a battle for the ages.
If Typhon's a competitor, doesn't that sort of mean she's not cheating? Oh, they got Hildibrand out of the ceiling.
He did not fight as a gentleman. So to review, the truffles were to elicit a sneeze from the octopus's oversized crony, which we positioned so as to appear it was coming from the Alamegan girl's blade, allowing the two to sweep away their opponents with ease.
But, like, what kept her from getting swept away?
No wonder I wasn't able to see it sooner. It's quite possibly the most imbecilic scheme I've encountered in my years as a consulting inspector. At any rate, we have no choice but to trust in your abilities now, Ny'ardbert. Let us make for Halatali.
Okay. Where exactly is the entrance to Halatali? Is it Battle Room? Okay. I feel like I gave Briarden a little bit too much of Hildibrand's voice today, but my voice is not necessarily up to snuff, so whoops. I suppose if anyone can defeat those fiends, it's you. Be safe, Ny'ardbert.
There's no telling what inane trickery that octopus will attempt next. Be on your guard, Ny'ardbert.
What's your deal? Oh, same thing as before. Before being the last time I was at Halatali.
So look, it's not related to this quest. Well, this tourney's turned into a right mess. With all the trouble I took preparing consolation prizes for the melee, looks like we won't be needing them after all. Of course, as long as you're bringing in the spectators and the profits, I give a gnat's arse. Har har har. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2 against 1 ain't fair, especially when one of the two is the size of a small house. So here's the deal. Why don't you bring along some of your friends for the battle? Let's say 7 of them? That should even the odds eye.
I mean, we could probably have done it with 3, but alright, we could do that. Same thing. Okay. Well, let's queue up. And I guess without further ado, I give you the dragon's neck.
Combatants, the final confrontation will be held here, atop the dragon neck. If all members of a team fall from the platform, they forfeit the match. Let the battle begin!
Seafood soup is not on the menu today, kids. Mr. Typhon and I are friends forever. Imp, buddy, pal. I know what you're thinking. Man, that was cheap. Sorry. All right, Mr. Typhon, time to make him fly. Hands off, Mr. Typhon, kids. Imps just love Uncle Ulti. Too clingy for you. What do you expect? I'm an octopus. Oh, he worked. Thank God. Is this the end for Uncle Ulti? I got a little surprise for y'all. It'll be tons of fun! Oh, kids, I hate to ink and run, but... thwarted again. I feel like such a sucker.
And Ny'ardbert claims the Mithril Cup.
Hell yeah. Got a tiny Ultros. You did it, Ny'ardbert. With any luck, we've seen the last of that lecherous devilfish. I'm less optimistic. But I actually don't remember if this is the last we've seen him.
Good show, Ny'ardbert. Your performance has earned us front row seats at the award ceremony. This should afford us the perfect vantage point to thwart the thief. Come, let us return to the Colosseum. Still not really sure why we didn't just do this here.
The ceremony will begin any moment now. Be on your guard. Our adversary may be anywhere, or anyone. Most remarkable display of martial skill, my adventuring friend. Clearly you've been observing me well in our travels together.
Yep, that's what it was, Hildibrand.
It was a battle for the ages, but a worthy victor has risen to claim the spoils. And now, let's take a look at the relic that our champion has won.
Did they steal it while we were gone?
Behold, from the personal vaults of Master Feargeist himself, the Warden's Grace, a timeless treasure the likes of which our realm has never seen, one that's earned the attention of Eorzea's most prominent pilferer. Gar, gar, gar. Above you.
Ladies and gentlemen, inspectors and invertebrates, the opening act dragged on over long, but worry not, the main event is about to begin. Oh, they're just not even bothering. I know that you paid well for your seats here today, but I can assure you that my performance will not leave you disappointed. Now, I invite one and all to sit back and enjoy the show. Ny'ardbert, focus. Pick the ring up off the table.
Vile fiend, mark my words, you have stolen your last treasure. I swear it on the Mandeville name. I think not, Hildibrand.
Greg? 'Tis always a pleasure to reunite with old friends, but your timing truly leaves something to be desired.
Ny'ardbert, you bested me once, but not today. I shall have my revenge when I pierce your chest with my spear.
Do you not mean your skewer?
My spear! Vile thief, is there not a shred of honor in you? Return my weapon at once.
Oh, it seems we have an unexpected guest. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I fear attendance at today's performance is by invitation only. Now it's raining truffles, but the battle's already... Mr. Typhon, just a moment. I'm sure I had a tissue here somewhere.
Alas and alack, the ring sails straight into the hands of the fiend.
That is preposterously lucky.
Giving up so soon, are we? Those don't sound like the words of a Manderville man. But of course, brilliant, Father. If the ring won't come to me, I shall go to the ring. Why, it'll be just like Dolomud. Hildibrand, Helador, Maximilian Manderville. Skyward, as only a Manderville can! Father, you know not your own strength. 997, 998, 990... Ooh. These legs, they look strangely familiar. Put a little too much spin on that one, it seems.
Not exactly as planned, but who can argue with the results? Save for one thing, this ring is fake. But no matter, I have a feeling this will lead me to the true treasure. Until next time, friends, you've been a most attentive audience.
That key! Bloody hells! Guards, seize the fiend at once!
Uh-oh.
It's too late, sir. The second prize, the Ring of Inquiry, it's gone.
Second prize? What's the meaning of this?
Many-faced fiend or no, the man spoke true. A master goldsmith's eyes cannot be deceived. This sun sphere is clearly a second-rate replica.
Preposterous. It's just, the dim lighting. Yes, if you'll just step over here.
Have you taken ill, friend? You seem to be perspiring most heavily.
Let's not be so hasty, friends. I can explain.
Go ahead.
I sold out my honor, joined forces with that odious octopus, all for a false treasure. What a fool I have been. Whatever was I thinking?
Do not berate yourself so, Miss Avila. Why, it was exactly as you said, was it not? You were thinking of dear Hegelina, and nothing more.
I suppose I was at that. How do you know my sister's name?
I assure you, young miss, under no circumstances did I tail you to the Nanawa mines to eavesdrop on your intimately personal dialogue with your beloved sister.
You have the right of it. Blinded by the prospect of fortune and fame, I lost sight of myself and what I truly was fighting for. My honor and my sister's trust will not be easily regained, but I will not shirk from the challenge.
One mystery still remains. Before the thief had identified the ring as fake, he had already acquired the key to the storeroom. Clearly the second prize, the Ring of Inquiry, was his target from the start. But why? There must be some pattern to the items the fiend has stolen, a pattern that betrays his true intentions.
The Treaty Blade, Azema's Virtue, the Ring of Inquiry. All relics with quite a history. Or to be more precise, relics from the era of... why am I giving him the fucking proprietor's voice?
Relics from the era of the Belladians. Oh, if that is so, the answer is clear as day. This fiend means to found Eorzea's greatest museum of Belladian history, pushing up the prices and gouging honest men out of their hard-earned coin. Doubtless another one of his cards will appear on the scene to tell us just as much.
Oh, it's big.
I've enjoyed our little game, but all good things must come to an end. I shall claim the 4 sacred treasures, and justice shall be served. So this is the thief's final challenge to us. But what are these 4 treasures of which he speaks?
Where the 4 treasures of Belladia become one, the wicked shall be judged in the blazing light of sun. An old legend, little more than a fairy tale at that, and yet it seems the Phantom believes there is some truth in these words. 4 sacred relics from Belladia, the Warden's justice, lofty words coming from a glorified footpad.
One who's winning over the common folk by the day, if rumors to be believed. It would seem the tales of a master thief ruffling the feathers of the rich and famous have won the man more than a few admirers. Considering his targets thus far, an Uldan collector and her hired thugs, a trading mogul in the brass blades, and now a mining magnate in the stone torches, is it any surprise that the sympathies of ordinary Uldans would lie with the perpetrators rather than his victims?
Astutely observed, Miss Ellie. Our quarry clearly harbors no small degree of resentment for wealth and authority. Might his next target be a member of the syndicate? Perhaps the Sultana herself? Then it will be to his downfall. For the greater the challenge, the higher I rise. Just one moment, if you would. Mark my words, ye of many faces. There is but one man who shall lay claim to the 4 lost relics of Belladia, and it shall be Hildibrand, agent of enquiry, inspector extraordinaire.
Yes, I'm sure that inspires us all with great confidence.
Was that? No, it couldn't be. Methinks Ny'ardbert may need a new pair of spectacles.
It's a race to recover the 4 lost relics of Belladia. As the fiend's true identity and aspirations are revealed. Will Eorzea fall prey to the forces of evil? Or will our hero do what only a Manderville can? Hildibrand will return in her last vow. The key to the next case is a mask. Have you ever worn a mask for so long that you forgot what you actually looked like? I have. And how did they freeze in midair like that? Talk about a mystery. Oh well, see you next time.